All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully lunch was good. Most everybody's shaking their head good. All right, excellent. You can all have a seat, and we're ready to resume. And the state can call their next witness.
Tommy Storns.
Tommy Storns, please. Mr. Storns, if you'll come all the way to the front for me, please, sir.
You got his thing up.
And if you'll raise your right hand, the clerk will administer the oath to you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, so if you come right around this way for me and have a seat over here. And you can adjust that microphone as to whatever position you need. Be sure and speak loudly and into it so we can all hear you.
Okay.
Mr. Guy.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. If you please tell the members of the jury your name.
Tommy Storns.
Mr. Storns, do you live here in Jacksonville?
Yes, I do.
How long have you lived in the Jacksonville area?
Since 2009.
And today, how old are you?
I am 21.
All right. Are you in school at this time?
Yes.
Where is it that you go to school?
FSCJ.
And what is it that you're studying?
Business.
On November 23rd, 2012, how old were you?
I was 19.
Do you know a person named Tevin Thompson?
Yes, I do.
Was he a good friend of yours?
Yes.
All right. You also know a person named Leland Brunson?
Yes.
How did you meet Leland Brunson?
I met Leland Brunson through Tevin Thompson.
All right. Were you and Leland Brunson ever close?
Not close, no.
All right. Did you also meet a person named Jordan Davis?
Yes, sir.
How did you meet Jordan Davis?
Through Tevin.
Were you ever close, particularly close to Jordan Davis?
No.
Let me turn your attention to November of 2012. Who did you live with at that time?
My aunt Lily Billingsley. My aunt Lily Billingsley.
And what part of town did you and your aunt live in back in November 2012?
Downtown Jacksonville.
Specifically then, let me turn your attention to Friday, November 23rd, 2012. Do you remember that day?
Yes.
Did you see Jordan Davis that day?
Yes.
How was it that you came to have contact with Jordan Davis?
Tevin got a phone call from him asking to go to the mall.
And did you and Tevin Thompson then drive to Jordan Davis's house to pick him up?
Yes.
What part of town did Jordan Davis live in?
The south side of Jacksonville.
When you picked up Jordan Davis, was anybody with him?
Yes.
Who was that?
Leland Brunson.
And did the four of you go to the town center that afternoon?
Yes, sir.
You recall the exact time that y'all would have arrived at the town center?
No, I do not.
Was it still daylight?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how were the four of y'all traveling that afternoon?
In my red Dodge Durango.
Who was driving?
I was.
Let me ask you to look at your monitor. Do you have States 43 in front of you?
Yes, sir.
You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
That's the red Dodge Durango.
All right. In that, had you driven that vehicle before that day?
Yes.
Okay. In the driver's seat, is there a control panel on the arm rail on the left side?
Yes.
Can you control the windows to the back doors from that armrest on your seat?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a control panel like that on the front passenger seat?
Yes.
What can that control?
Only that window.
Only the passenger's window?
Yes, only the passenger window.
So it can't control the back seats?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Why were y'all going to the town center?
Just to hang out.
Did the four of you stay together there?
Yes.
All right. Did Jordan run into anybody that he knew at the town center?
Yes.
Who was that?
His girlfriend.
Do you recall her name?
Not yes, Aaliyah.
And do you know whether or not she worked at the town center?
Yes.
In what store, if you recall?
It was Urban Outfitters.
All right. Did the four of y'all leave the town center together?
Yes.
And did you still in the Dodge Durango?
Yes.
All right. When the four of y'all left, were there discussions about where were you going to go next?
Yes.
And did that include the Avenues Mall?
Yes.
Who was driving the Dodge Durango when y'all left?
I was.
And where was Tevin Thompson seated?
He was seated in the front passenger seat.
And where was Jordan Davis seated?
In the rear right passenger behind Tevin.
And Leland Brunson, where was he sitting?
He was seated behind me.
All right. Did y'all stop anywhere before you got to the Avenues Mall?
Yes, at the Gate gas station.
And And what particular gate location was that?
This was on Southside Boulevard in Bay Meadows.
And why did y'all stop there?
I stopped for cigarettes and gum.
Do you recall where you parked relative to the store itself?
Yes, to the left of the door of the store.
All right. Were you facing the store or away?
I was facing the store.
When you pulled into that parking space at the gate, was there a car on the passenger side of your car when you pulled in?
No, there was not.
After you pulled in, did you get out of the car and go into the store?
Yes.
Did anyone go with you?
No.
To your knowledge, did Tevin Thompson and Leland Brunson and Jordan Davis stay in the car?
Yes.
Was there music playing in your car when you pulled in?
Yes.
What type of music?
Hip-hop music.
Can you tell the members of the jury about the stereo system in that Dodge Durango?
Yes, I had two 12-inch subwoofers with the amplifier in the back.
Where were those?
In the rear of the Durango.
Okay. When y'all got to the gate gas station, what was Jordan Davis's demeanor like, or his mood?
He was calm. Everyone was happy and laughter.
All right. How about Leland Brunson?
The same.
Tevin Thompson?
The same.
How about yourself?
The same.
While you were in the gate gas station, did you hear anything from outside the store that caught your attention?
No, I did not.
All right. What did you do while you were in the store?
I used the bathroom and bought the gum and pack of cigarettes.
And after you used the bathroom and bought the gum and cigarettes, did you go back out to the Durango?
Yes, sir.
When you walked back out to the Durango, was there a car parked on the passenger side of your car?
Yes.
What model, color, that type of thing was that car?
It was a black sedan type vehicle.
Do you recall how close the black sedan had parked next to your car?
I do know that it was close enough to where you couldn't open my doors without hitting the vehicle.
All right. And what did you do when you got back to your car?
When I got back to the car, I remember opening the door. I did a little dance to the song that was playing, and then I got into the vehicle.
All right. This dance that you did, was it like, were you like break dancing on the ground, or what? Was it something less than that?
It was something less than that. It was just a little motion in my body.
All right. After you got in the Durango, did anything catch your attention?
Yes, Tevin. He, asked me to go. Let's leave.
And did you look in Tevin Thompson's direction when he said that?
Yes.
What did you see?
When I looked in his direction, I also seen the person in the vehicle next to us mouth moving, as if he was talking to someone in my vehicle.
And the person that you saw, where was that person seated in the black sedan?
In the driver's seat.
And was that person a male, female, or what?
He was male.
White, black, Hispanic, Asian?
White.
And you could see the driver's mouth move?
Yes.
But you could not hear what he was saying?
No, sir.
How did the driver appear at that point as far as demeanor, if you could tell?
He appeared angry.
And what did you see the driver do next?
I seen his firearm come up into my view.
All right. Did you see where the driver got the gun from?
No, sir.
What color was the gun that the driver had?
From my recollection, I remember seeing silver and black.
All right, let me ask you to look at your monitor. States 48. First of all, is that the driver's panel that you were talking about on the driver's door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you circle the buttons that control the rear view, or the rear windows, rather?
Okay.
You got to push kind of hard on that screen.
Okay. You said control the rear windows?
That's right. All right. Let me show you states 113. Does that appear to be the gun that you saw in the driver's hand?
Yes, sir.
At any time that evening, did you say anything to the driver of the car that was holding that gun?
No, sir.
Did you hear Leland Brunson say anything to the driver?
No, sir.
Did you hear Tevin Thompson say anything to the driver?
No, sir.
Did you hear Jordan Davis threaten to harm the driver in any way?
No.
Did you ever see Jordan Davis threaten to harm the driver in any way?
No.
Did you see anything in Jordan Davis's hands when you got back in the Durango?
No.
Did you ever see or hear Jordan Davis attempt to get out of the Durango?
No.
Did you ever see the dome light come on?
No.
Does that Durango have a dome light that comes on when the doors open?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see or hear Leland Brunson threaten the driver?
No.
Or Tevin Thompson?
No.
Or yourself?
No.
Did you have any weapons in the car?
No, sir.
Were you aware of anyone else having a weapon in the car?
No, sir.
All right, what did the driver of the car do after he saw his mouth moving and the gun come up?
He began to fire it.
At what?
Towards my vehicle.
And what did you do when the driver next to you started firing at your car?
I went to throw my car in reverse.
Did you back up?
Yes, yes. I backed up and just trying to leave, trying to get out of the area.
As you were backing up, did you hear additional gunshots?
Yes, sir.
How far did you back up?
Just enough to where I could come back and turn my car to leave without hitting anything.
To pull forward?
Yes.
All right, did you pull forward?
Yes.
As you were pulling forward, did you hear additional gunshots?
Yes.
Did you hear anything that sounded like glass or metal breaking or shattering in your car?
Yes, that's what I hear. That's what I remember vividly was the glass shattering in my car.
And where did you go when you pulled forward?
I pulled into the adjoining parking lot with the gate.
All right. And did you drive all the way through it and out onto Southside Boulevard?
No, sir.
Why did you stop?
To check and see if everyone's okay.
And when you stopped, did you pull the car into a parking space, or did you back into a parking space, or did you just stop right in the middle?
I just stopped in the middle of the street.
Okay. Let me show you States 1. You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you circle for the jurors first where the gate store is? And again, you got to press kind of hard. Okay, and now make a line or an X indicating the approximate area or space that you were parked in. And that's to the left of the front door?
Yes.
All right, and show the jurors then where you backed out and drove to. All right, and where you've stopped the line, is that the approximate area that you stopped?
Yes.
When you stopped the Durango, did you try to see where the black car was?
Yes.
And how did you try to do that? What window or mirror did you look out of?
I looked into my rearview mirror.
Did you see the black car?
No.
After you stopped, did you check on the status of the other people in the car?
Yes.
How'd you do that?
I called everyone's name.
Did Tevin Thompson respond when you called his name?
Yes.
Did Leland Brunson respond?
Yes.
Did Jordan Davis respond?
No, sir.
When Jordan Davis did not respond to the sound of his name, did you look back where he had been sitting?
Yes.
And where was Jordan Davis when you looked in the back seat?
He was leaning on Leland.
Was Jordan Davis making any sounds?
Yes.
What was that?
He was gasping for air.
Was he moving in any way?
No, sir.
Did you get out of the Durango when Jordan Davis didn't respond?
Yes.
Did you go all the way around the Durango?
Yes.
Did you see, well, what did you see when you went around the Durango?
When I went around the Durango, I seen bullet holes in the side of my car.
What side?
The passenger side.
And what did you do after seeing bullet holes in the side of your car?
I ran it back around and got back in the vehicle.
And what did you do when you got back in?
I backed straight back to the gate gas station.
And when you say backed, I mean, do you mean you just put it in reverse and backed all the way back?
Yes.
Okay, why'd you go back to the gate?
I guess it was the brightest place that I seen. I guess the closest place I would think to go to for help, or someone would be for help.
And when you got back to the gate, did you park in a space?
I didn't park evenly in a space.
How did you park?
My car was like at a kind of a diagonal angle across two spaces, I believe.
All right, and did you pull in again facing the store or away from the store or what?
It was facing the store.
All right. Did you call 911 at some point?
Yes.
Did you talk to them?
No.
Why not?
Because Tevin was already on the phone with 911.
All right. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you States 200. Ask you to look at that.
Okay.
Does that appear to be the phone number, the records of the phone number that you had that night?
Yes, sir.
Do you see a call reflected in those records to 911?
Trying to find it. No.
Do you see the column that has the numbers dialed?
Yes. Yes.
Do you see a call to 911?
No.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you the second page of your records. Is that page I just took out part of the same exhibit?
Yes.
Do you see a call to 911?
Yes.
Is there a time associated with the call to 911?
Yes.
And what is the time?
7:40 p.m.
All right, and you hung up on 911?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because Tevin was already on the phone with the police.
When you got back to the gate gas station, did you get out of the car?
Yes.
And where did you go first?
I walked around the front of my vehicle to the person that was parked to the right side of my vehicle once I pulled back into the space.
Okay, so there was a car again to your right?
Yes.
Was it the black sedan?
No, sir.
All right. Was Jordan Davis still in the car?
Yes.
And how was he positioned when you got back?
He was still leaning against Leland.
Did you see any signs of life from Jordan Davis when you got back?
No, sir.
Did people come over to the Dodge Durango to offer help or aid?
Yes.
And what did those people do with Jordan Davis?
They eventually pulled him out of the vehicle and attempted CPR.
Did police and rescue arrive at the gate gas station?
Yes.
And at some point were you directed to go inside the gate gas station and wait?
Yes.
Did Tevin Thompson and Leland Brunson also go inside the gate store?
Yes.
And were there other civilians directed to go inside?
Yes.
From the gate gas station, were you taken downtown to the police station?
Yes.
How'd you get downtown?
In a police car.
Were Leland Brunson and Tevin Thompson also in that same car?
Yes.
As y'all were driving downtown with the officer, did the three of you talk about what had happened?
No.
Were you interviewed downtown by homicide detectives that evening?
Yes.
And when you were interviewed by the homicide detectives, was it in the same room with Tevin Thompson and Leland Brunson, or were you interviewed separately?
Well, it was separately.
During your interview with the detectives, did they show you a series of photographs?
Yes.
Were you able to single any one person out as being the driver of the other car?
No.
Were you able to narrow it down to a couple of photographs?
Yes.
Before the detectives showed you those photos, did they give you some instructions about how to view the photographs?
Yes.
And did you actually sign the form that they gave you?
Yes.
Mr. Storns, in November 2012, were you on felony probation?
Yes, I was.
And was that for a third-degree felony?
Yes, it was.
And you understood that was punishable by up to 5 years in prison?
Yes, sir.
As part of that probation, did you have a curfew?
Yes.
That is a set time of day that you were supposed to be home.
Yes.
Okay, what time were you supposed to be home every night?
7:00 p.m.
So, if you were out at the station calling 911, driving around, after 7 o'clock, you would have been in violation.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did that violation come to the attention of your probation officer?
Yes.
And what was done with your probation as a result of you being out past 7 o'clock on November 23rd, 2012?
My probation was continued.
Did you ever go before a judge as a result of that probation?
No, sir.
To your knowledge, did anyone from the state attorney's office or the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office help you or attempt to help you in getting your probation continued?
No.
Did you ever ask anyone from the state attorney's office or the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to help you get your probation continued?
No.
Did you successfully complete your probation?
Yes, sir.
And when was that?
August of 2013.
All right, let me ask you, Mr. Smith, did you clear that? That's all right. States 9, you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that, what is that?
That is the red Durango. And
Is that where you parked when you came back to the gate?
yes.
And States 21, do you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that the driver's side that you got out of?
Yes.
And there's appears to be like a tan piece of clothing on the ground. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That was my hoodie.
A hoodie?
Yes.
That was yours?
Yes.
It was in the car?
Yes.
States 22, is that a close-up of your hoodie, your jacket?
Yes.
All right. States 24, you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that Jordan Davis's wallet?
Yes, sir.
States 26, is that where you were seated in the car?
Yes.
And States 49, do you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that also a photograph of the front compartment of your car?
Yes.
States 36, do you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that what you saw when you went around the car to Jordan Davis's side?
Yes, sir.
States 51, what is that a photograph of?
The rear of my vehicle.
Is that your basketball?
Yes, sir.
Is that your shoes?
Yes, sir.
Your clothes?
Yes.
All right. There's a little yellow thing towards the upper left-hand corner. Do you know what that is?
Yes, that's a Carnival Cruise Cup.
Yeah, may I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Storms, let me show you 166. Let me get this back from you, 200. Do you recognize 166?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that to be?
The instructions for viewing the photos.
All right, and how do you recognize it to be the same?
My signature and just I remember the piece of paper itself.
All right. And you signed that before you viewed the photographs that evening?
Yes.
All right. You know, at this time I'd like to publish just a portion of the gate video. I think it's 168.
All right.
There's no objection from the defense?
I can't imagine there would be since it's already admitted into evidence, but I appreciate you asking.
It is 168, Your Honor.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Would you stop me right there? Ms. Walker? Mr. Storms, do you appear in that video?
Yes.
Can you circle where you are in that video? Okay, and as we play this through, I'm going to ask you at the end if that was your transaction there at the gate station before you went back outside. All right, if you play the rest of it.
Friday, 93. I'm gonna have that out ready. Oh, you have to wait until you get an account. Out there in the account instead of actually, yeah, instead of, you know, going to around 16, 17. Good luck.
All right, Thank you, Ms. Walden. Mr. Storm, does that accurately depict your purchase of gum and cigarettes at the gate station that night?
Yes, sir.
Same hairstyle you had back then?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Judge, that's all I have.
Ms. Hanania.
Good afternoon, Mr. Storms. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Now, sir, you've already talked about the fact that you were on felony probation at the time that this incident occurred. Is that right?
Yes.
And what that means is that you had been placed on probation for a felony by a judge, correct?
Yes.
And along with that probation, or as part of that probation, there were a number of conditions that you had to abide by. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
One of those conditions, meaning a court order, was that you be in your home every night by 7 p.m. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So by being out at the time of this shooting, at the time of this incident, at least 7:30 and later, you had violated that court order. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
And violations of court orders and violations of your probation carry legal consequences. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
And those legal consequences would vary depending on what your violation is, correct?
Yes.
So the consequences for violating your curfew may be one thing. Violations for a more serious violation of your probation may be another, correct?
I'll give her a little leeway.
Go ahead, sir.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. The consequences for violating your probation by violating your curfew might be one type of punishment, and violation of a court order of your probation for other things may be more serious. Isn't that correct, sir?
I don't know exactly what the consequences would be for each thing, but I'm sure.
Sir, you were placed on probation here in Duval County, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that initial case was prosecuted by the same state attorney's office that's handling this case, correct?
Yes.
And the violation of probation, if it had been taken into court, would have been handled by the same state attorney's office, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And, sir, you were asked whether or not you were ever taken into court for that violation of probation. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And you weren't. Isn't that right, sir?
I was not.
Okay. You told your probation officer of your involvement in this case. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you already told Mr. Guy that your probation officer was informed of this violation of probation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And therefore, the fact that you were involved in this case to some degree, is that right?
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. Your probation officer would have known the circumstances under which you had violated your curfew. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And so ultimately, you faced no consequences for that violation of your felony probation. Isn't that right, sir?
The consequence that I faced was my probation being continued.
It wasn't due to end that day, was it, sir?
No, ma'am.
It wasn't due to end the next week, was it, sir?
No, ma'am.
It wasn't due to end until nearly a year later. Isn't that right, sir?
I don't know exactly how long it was.
You finished it in August of 2013. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was when you were supposed to finish it. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you weren't punished by remaining on probation. You just remained on probation instead of actually getting a punishment. Isn't that right?
To my recollection, that was the punishment by...
Okay. You didn't go to jail or have to do anything else except remain on the probation that you were supposed to be on anyway, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, sir, you were driving the Dodge Durango that was involved in this incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a 2002 model?
Yes.
And within that Dodge Durango, there was a tripod beneath the back seat. Isn't that correct, sir?
Yes.
And by tripod, I mean a three-legged instrument used to attach something else to prop it up. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And those are cylindrical, meaning they look like a pipe-shaped type legs. Correct, sir?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they were square or cylinder.
You're not sure if the tripod legs were square or round?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But there was three legs. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that was in the car on the night that this incident occurred. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
And wouldn't it be fair to say, sir, that you don't know exactly where it was on that night? Would that be fair to say?
Exactly where the tripod was?
Yes, sir.
I knew it was under the seat.
Okay. And when was the last time before this night that you had seen that tripod?
I want to say maybe a couple weeks or a month.
Now, sir, you were on this day, on Black Friday, November 23rd of 2012, had spent much of your day with Tevin Thompson. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
The two of you at that time were pretty close to each other. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You spent a lot of time together making and producing music. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And on that particular day, you had spent several hours doing the same thing.
Yes.
And you've already said that you were not particularly close to Jordan Davis, right?
Right.
And you barely knew Leland Brunson. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And sir, you had a cell phone on you that evening, isn't that right?
Yes.
As did Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, did Mr. Brunson?
I believe so.
Okay. As did Mr. Davis, is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Now, you and Mr. Thompson went and picked up Mr. Davis and Mr. Brunson, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And throughout this evening, from the first time y'all picked him up until these events unfolded, the four of you are hanging out. You're all together. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're in the car a good bit, but you're also walking around the town center. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And while you're in the car, from the very beginning, you've got music playing, right?
Yes.
And it's the hip-hop type of music that Mr. Guy was just asking you about. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it was pretty typical that whenever y'all were in the car, that you'd be listening to this music. Is that right?
Yes.
Sustain.
On this evening, you were listening to music throughout your ride in the car. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And on this evening, you were listening to it pretty loudly. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that was true throughout your rides together that evening, correct?
I can't say that it was the whole time, but I know at times, yes, it was pretty loud.
Okay. Now, you were asked about the windows, and you were shown the window locks, the window lock button, rather. Jordan Davis's window was down through much of the ride that evening. Isn't that right, sir?
No,
It was not.
no.
So what is your recollection of the position of Jordan Davis's window? Let's start from the first ride, when you picked him up from his home and you were going to the town center.
When I picked him up from his home, my windows were up, I believe. I didn't let his window down until we were leaving the town center.
Okay. So when you got to the town center, his window was down. When you were leaving the town center, you put his window down. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. It was about halfway down, correct?
Yeah, about, yeah.
Okay. And it's your recollection that all the other windows were up? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it was the plan y'all discussed as you were leaving the town center, going to another mall, correct?
Correct.
And that was going to be the Avenues Mall, is that right?
Yes.
And there was a discussion about stopping at the town center, at the gate station in order to get the gum and the cigarettes that we've just seen you purchase. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Now, when you got to the gate station, you pulled in hood first, is that right?
Yes.
And you parked normally, would that be fair to say, sir?
Yes.
Okay. But when you left the car, you left the car running, is that right?
I do not recall.
Okay. The music was still playing in the car when you left, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the music was playing in the car when you came back, right?
Yes.
And the music was playing pretty loudly when you left the car, right?
When I left the car, I remember turning it down so I could talk to them before I went in.
Okay.
But when I went in, I believe it was turned back up.
Okay. And you were inside this store, the gate station, during much of the events that led up to the shooting. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
But when you did come back out, you saw that the black sedan had pulled into the space next to yours?
Yes.
And it had also pulled in hood first, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was parked normally, correct?
Yes.
So that the cars, the front seats were kind of lined up with each other, is that right?
Yes.
Now, when you get back into the driver's side of the car, that Mr. Brunson is behind you, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Davis is on the other side of the car, behind Mr. Thompson. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you are told, let's go.
Yes.
And at that point, the position of Mr. Davis's window was still halfway down, correct?
Yes. I believe so.
And the position of the other windows in the car were that they were still up. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, the Durango is a pretty tall car. It's an SUV.
Yes.
Okay. And the black car, the black sedan that you saw is a much smaller car. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you said that you looked over and you saw the person in the black sedan with a gun. Is that right, sir?
When I first looked over, I saw his mouth move, and then I seen his gun.
Okay. You didn't hear anything of what was said?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you didn't see him gesturing angrily or wildly, is that right?
I didn't see any gestures, no.
Okay. You didn't see any pounding of the car or the steering wheel or anything like that, did you?
No.
Okay. And when you're looking over, you see a white male there, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at that point, you didn't know who that person was.
No.
You've since found out that that's Michael Dunn, but at that time, it was just a white male that you saw, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you don't know anything of the conversation between Mr. Davis and Mr. Thompson prior to you getting back in that car?
Correct.
You don't know anything about the exchange between Mr. Davis and that white male that you later learned to be Mr. Dunn before you got back in the car, correct?
No.
You don't know about anything that Mr. Davis may have done while you were outside of the car, correct?
Correct.
Now, you're indicating that you heard shots being fired, is that right?
Yes.
And there were 3 shots fired, is that right?
I can't recall exactly how many.
Okay, so some shots are fired, and then you reverse out of the parking spot that you're in, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you drive over into this plaza that's adjacent to the Gate gas station, is that right?
Yes, I pull into the parking lot that's joined to the gate parking lot, yes.
I'm sorry, I just didn't hear what you said. What was that, sir?
I said I pulled into the parking lot that was joined with the gate parking lot,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, sir. I apologize. And while you were there, you get out of the car, correct?
Yes.
Out of the SUV.
Yes.
And Kevin Thompson doesn't get out of the car, is that correct?
Not that I can remember.
And you not only get out of the car, you walk around the car, is that right?
Yes.
And you open at least one of the car doors, is that right?
I can't recall.
Now, you decide to go back to the gate station because you want to get help, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you decide that there's more light and more people back at the gate station, is that right?
At the time that those things weren't going through my head, that's just the first instinct, first place that I thought to go to.
But there were businesses right there in that adjacent plaza where you had driven into, isn't
Yeah.
that right?
Yes.
Okay. And where you had parked, it was a little darker maybe than where the gate station was?
I would imagine so, since that's a gas station, yes.
And there were perhaps less people around in that particular area?
Yes.
And you never saw the black sedan leaving the gate station area,
No.
despite the fact that you were out of the car.
Repeat that, please.
Even though you were out of the car, you didn't see the black sedan leaving, even though you were looking for it, right?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
I did not.
Okay. So you go back to the gate station to get help, but while you're parked in this adjacent plaza, you called 911 at about 7:40, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay, as the records you've just been shown tell you, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're on 911 for 1 second and then you hang up, isn't that right?
Yes.
And that's before you talk to anybody or ask for any help, isn't that right?
Yes.
You then get on your phone and talk to a number of other people, is that right?
Yes, a little while later.
Okay. You make a number of calls in which you actually stayed on the phone and talked to people, right?
Yes.
And when you get back to the gate station, you don't call 911 at that location, correct?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
Now, while you're there, when you get back to the gate station, you get out of the SUV and so does Mr. Thompson, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and Mr. Brunson and Mr. Davis stay in the back seat of the car?
Yes.
Okay. And so the two of you are both out of the car for at least a few minutes before the police arrive. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are up on the sidewalk somewhere around the gate station during that time period. Is that right, sir?
At what exact point?
After you've come back to the gate station and before the police arrive?
After I come back to the gas station, yes, at some point I went to the sidewalk, but for the most of the time I was next to the vehicle.
Okay. And when the police do arrive, you are not their immediate focus. Would that be fair to say, sir?
Yes.
Their immediate focus is assessing the injuries to Mr. Davis and then helping him. Is that right?
Sustained.
Did the police approach you before dealing with Mr. Davis and assessing his situation?
I don't know. No.
Okay. You don't remember anything like that happening. Is that right, sir?
No, from the time we were in a panic, all I remember is the police coming and everyone pulling Jordan out, giving him CPR, and then police arrived and ambulance arrived. I don't know exactly where they went first.
Okay. So what your recollection is that the attention and the focus was on Mr. Jordan in trying to assess his situation and help him?
Yes.
Okay. Sometime after the police arrive, they instruct you, Mr. Thompson and Mr. Brunson, to go and stand by a patrol car. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And the three of you are together when you're told to do that, and that's what you do, right?
Yes.
You're later instructed to wait inside the gate station together. Is that right?
Yes.
And then transported together down to the police memorial building where you're asked to give a statement. Is that right?
Yes.
You're interviewed that night, right?
Yes.
You're also interviewed 4 days later by detectives. Is that right?
I don't recall exactly how many days it was.
Okay. Some days later, they come out and talk to you again. Is that right?
Yes.
To your knowledge, you don't ever have a recorded interview with the police. Is that right?
Recorded how?
In other words, they never videotape it or audio tape. You never see a tape recorder or anything like that while they're talking to you. Is that right?
No.
And you were asked about whether or not you guys, well, hold on. Let me back up for a moment. Sir, you said that you were traumatized by this. This is pretty traumatic. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. This was an important event that had just happened. Is that right?
Yes.
And here you are with the two other people that it had happened to along with you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's your testimony here today that at no time during that evening did the three of you discuss what had happened. Is that right?
That's right.
And I'm sorry, I don't believe I asked this earlier, sir. It's true, is it not, that on that violation of probation, if you had been taken to court and prosecuted for that, you were facing up to 5 years in prison. Isn't that correct, sir?
Yes.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
If I may have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
what's been already introduced into evidence is case number 51 in evidence. Can you see that on your screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that is the photograph that Mr. Guy went through with you in order, and had you identified it as your Durango. Is that correct, sir? Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And this is, in fact, the view of your Durango from the rear hatch?
Yes.
And the rear hatch is open at this time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you circle for us where the dome light in your car is?
Can't really see it. It's like around in there somewhere.
Okay. Around in there somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. And the rear door is also open in this photograph, is it not, sir?
Yes.
I don't have anything further, Your Honor.
Mr. Guy?
Just Mr. Storms, when y'all stopped, when you stopped in the plaza, did you take any firearms or any weapons out of the car?
No, sir.
Did Tevin Thompson,
No, sir.
did Leland Brunson throw any weapons out of the car?
No.
Did Jordan Davis?
No.
Okay. When you got back to the gate station, did you take any weapons out of the car?
No, sir.
Did Tevin Thompson?
No, sir.
Did you see Leland Brunson do that?
No, sir.
Did you see Jordan Davis do that?
No, sir.
When you started backing up originally, when you started getting shot at, were you backing up so that you could find a place that was less well lit?
Leading and a bit argumentative.
Sustained.
Well, when you started backing up, when the shots started coming in your car, why'd you back up?
To get away.
I'm sorry?
To get away from the danger.
Were you backing up so you could get to a place with less light?
No, sir.
It's answered.
When you stopped your car in the plaza, why'd you stop?
To check and see if everyone was okay.
Did you stop there because there was less light in the parking lot?
No, sir.
Did you stop there because there was less people in the parking lot?
No, sir.
Had your car just been shot at?
Yes, sir.
Had you heard glass
Yes, sir.
breaking?
Yes, sir.
Had you already called Jordan Davis's name and not got a response before you got out of the car?
Yes.
What was your mental state when after you heard the gunshots and called Jordan's name, didn't hear a response, and heard the glass shatter in your car? Tell the jury how you felt.
I would object to the speech that counsel's giving.
Sustained.
How did you feel when you stopped the car?
Scared. In a panic. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Did you feel that way or close to that way when you got back to the gate gas station?
Yeah.
When you came out of the store and got back in the car, did you check Jordan Davis's window to see if it had changed at all?
No.
Between the time of the shooting and the time you called 911, did you call anybody else?
No.
Did you call people afterward?
Yes.
After 911?
Yes.
Who'd you call?
My aunt and my pastor, who was my cousin,
And why'd you call those people?
to let my family know what had happened.
And to your memory, where were you? Do you recall where you were when you actually punched those 3 digits in the phone?
I was standing by my truck in the gate parking lot.
Having come back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You were asked about not discussing the events with Leland Brunson and Tevin Thompson after, when you all went to the station, I guess.
Yes.
Were they not with you in the Durango when the shots came through?
Yes, they were.
Okay, were they with you when you stopped the car?
Yes.
Were they with you when Jordan Davis's body was placed on the ground and then taken away by rescue?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Waldrop, do you have those photographs up? You see state 44?
Yes, sir.
That's your car?
Yes.
Okay, you talked about a tripod. Is the area where the tripod was, does that appear in that photograph?
Yes.
Where is it? And Judge, for the record, he's circling an area under the rear passenger seat.
That's correct.
All right. In States 45, is there a part of the tripod depicted in that photograph?
Yes, sir.
Can you circle that for the jury? Did you ever see that tripod come out from underneath the seat that night?
No, sir.
Did you ever see it in Leland Brunson's hands?
No, sir.
Jordan Davis's hands?
No, sir.
Tevin Thompson's hands?
No.
What's that tripod go to?
Camera.
Is the kind of tripod that when you pull one leg, the other two open up?
Yes.
You got anything else? I don't have anything else, Your Honor. Thank you.
May he be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You're excused. State's next witness.
Alyssa LeBlanc.
Alyssa LeBlanc. Ma'am, if you'll come up to the front for me, please. And if you'll raise your right hand, the clerk will administer the oath to you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? I do.
All right, ma'am, if you'll come right around this way for me. And you can adjust that microphone as needed. And just be sure and speak right into it and loudly so we can all hear you. Mr. Guy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am. If you'd please tell the members of the jury your name.
Alyssa LeBlanc.
Do you live here in Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you lived in the Jacksonville area?
About 22 years.
Are you employed?
I am.
Where is it that you work?
At KIP Voice.
And what is KIP Voice?
It's an elementary school.
What do you do for them?
I'm a second grade teacher.
Where's that school located? What part of town?
Northwest Jacksonville.
And how long have you been at KIP Voice?
This is my third year.
All right. And have you been a teacher the entire time?
Yes, sir.
All right. In November 2012, what area of town did you live in?
In the South Side area.
Let me turn your attention then to the evening of Friday, November 23rd, 2012. Do you remember that evening?
Yes, sir.
Did you go out to dinner that night?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go to dinner?
At the Loop.
What Loop location did you go to?
The location off of Bay Meadows and South Side.
Had you ever been there before?
I don't recall if I had been to that location before.
Okay. Had you ever been to that area, that plaza of stores and the gate station?
Yes, sir, I had.
Okay. Is that because you lived in the area?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you go to dinner with anyone that evening?
Yes, sir, I did.
Who was that?
My brother and my roommate and my 2-year-old nephew.
All right. Your brother's name is what?
Christopher.
And your roommate's name is what?
Hillary.
And whose car did you go to the Loop restaurant in?
In my car.
Anybody ride with you?
My brother and my nephew.
And your nephew was 2 at the time?
Yes, sir.
Did he ride in a car seat?
Yes, sir.
What kind of car did you drive?
It was a Saturn.
And who was driving?
I was.
You said your roommate joined you for dinner. Did she drive separately?
She did. She drove her own truck.
All right. Let me show you States 1 there. Is that on the monitor?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
I'm sorry. Is States 1 on your monitor?
Yes.
Okay. You recognize that as being the plaza of stores that contains the Loop restaurant?
Yes, sir.
And that would be at the intersection of Bay Meadows and Southside?
Yes, sir.
Can you circle for the jury the approximate location of the Loop restaurant?
Yes. It's somewhere over here.
All right. And can you show the jury where it was that you parked your car when you went to dinner?
Sure. It was over here by the sign.
Okay, and just for the record then, you were parked in the row of spaces nearest Southside Boulevard?
Correct.
Was your car facing the Loop or Southside Boulevard?
It was facing Southside Boulevard.
Did the four of you, your brother, your nephew, and your roommate, leave the Loop at the same time?
Yes, sir.
And where was your roommate parked?
She was parked right in front of the restaurant.
And so I guess the first row of cars nearest the Plaza stores
Yes, sir.
was, okay. When y'all left the restaurant, did she get in her car?
Yes.
All right. Did you and your brother and your nephew then continue to walk across that parking lot towards your car?
Yes, sir.
As you were doing that, did you hear anything that caught your attention?
Yes.
What was that?
Several gunshots.
Where were the gunshots coming from?
From the direction of the gas station.
And do you know what gas station that is?
The Gate gas station.
Where was your nephew, to your memory, when y'all were walking back?
I was holding him.
And what'd you do when you heard the gunshots?
We stopped for a second and then immediately just ran to my car.
Your car was still in the same space?
Yes.
Did you hear additional gunshots as you were running towards your car?
Yes, there were a few more.
And what side of your car did you go to?
The passenger side.
Why did you go to the passenger side?
Just so that the car would be a barrier between where the gunshots were coming from and myself.
All right. After the gunshots stopped, did you see any vehicles in the parking lot that caught your attention?
Yes.
What kind of car?
It was a red SUV.
And what was it about the red SUV that caught your attention?
It was speeding towards us.
Did it pass you?
No, sir.
What did it do?
It stopped short in the middle of the parking lot.
Okay, can you kind of show the jury what direction it was headed by touching your screen? Can you show them what direction it was headed and an approximate place where it stopped?
Sure. It came this way and stopped somewhere about here.
Okay, and it was facing your direction?
Correct.
All right. When the red SUV stopped, did it pull into a space or back into a space or just stop right in the middle of the parking lot?
It just stopped right in the middle.
And where was your attention focused at that point?
On the red SUV.
Why?
Because I just heard several gunshots and a car was speeding towards us, so I wasn't aware of what was going on or if our lives were in danger.
Did you see anyone get out of the red SUV?
I did.
How many people?
2.
From what areas of the car?
The driver's side and the passenger side, the front passenger side.
What side on the driver's side? I mean, what front or back on the driver's side?
Front.
Okay, so the driver and the front seat passenger?
Correct.
All right. Could you tell the sex of either of those individuals?
They were both male.
Could you tell the race or the color, white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
They were black.
Where did the front passenger go when he got out of the SUV?
He stepped towards the side of the vehicle.
The passenger side?
The passenger side.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. The driver got out, and the driver was standing on the driver's side of the vehicle, just towards the middle of the vehicle.
Okay. And I'm sorry, maybe I confused you. I want to talk about the front passenger first.
Oh, the front passenger.
That's
okay,
right. When he
sorry.
got out of the car, where did you see that person go?
He went towards the back of the vehicle.
All right. Did you ever see the front passenger walk away from the area of the car?
No, sir.
Did you ever see the front passenger take anything out of the car?
No, sir.
Did you ever see anything come out of the car?
No, sir.
What did the driver do? You started talking about the driver. What did the driver do when he got out?
He got out. He was on his cell phone and was looking at the side of the vehicle.
Did you see the driver leaning into any part of the vehicle?
He had opened the door and he opened the back driver's side door and he was leaning in, but I couldn't see what he was doing.
The door right behind him?
Correct.
Okay. Did you know what he was looking at?
I had no idea.
Did you ever see the driver walk away from the area of the car?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you ever, I'm sorry, did you ever see the driver take anything out of the car?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you ever see anything come out of the car, whether it was taken out or thrown out or fell out?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you ever see anyone other than the front passenger and the driver get out of the red SUV?
No, sir.
All right. At some point, do you get into your car?
Yes,
All right. And who put your nephew back in the car?
my brother did.
Can you estimate, well, let me ask you this. Did you see the front passenger and the driver get back in the car?
Yes,
Can you estimate for the jury approximately how long they were outside the car?
I would say about a minute.
And did they both essentially, that is the front passenger and the driver, get out of the car at the same time?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The front passenger and the driver, did they get out of the car at approximately the same time?
Yes,
Did they get back into the car at approximately the same time?
yes, they did.
And you said they were out for about a minute?
Yes,
Okay. What, did you see the red SUV leave the area that it had stopped?
yes.
Where did it go?
It reversed back to the gas station.
And when you say reversed, what do you mean?
It just literally drove backwards to the gas station.
Did you ever see the red SUV leave the plaza?
No, sir, I didn't.
Is the last time you saw it when it was backing towards the gate gas station?
Yes,
All right, let me show you, Mr. Smith, if you could clear that. Thank you so much. 205. Is that essentially the view that you had from where you were parked to back towards the gate?
yes, I was a little further to the right because I was on the side of my car, but yes,
Okay, so you were a little further out of the picture this way,
correct.
the way I'm motioning. All right, and obviously this picture was taken in the daylight.
Correct.
Okay, and it was nighttime when this occurred.
Correct.
All right. After you got back in your car, did you stay in the parking lot?
No, sir.
What did you do?
I drove to my apartment.
And why did you do that?
I just didn't want to be around there with gunshots going off.
All right. Let me show you States 3. Do you recognize that as also being an aerial photograph of that plaza of stores?
Yes, sir.
And can you show the jury how you left that plaza of stores to head back to your residence?
Yes. We drove out through this exit and down South Side.
All right. And who was driving?
I was.
All right. At some point, did you or your brother call 911?
Yes, my brother dialed 911
And when was that?
as we were driving out of the plaza.
All right. Were you at that time driving the car?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, even though he had called 911, did you speak to 911?
I did.
And what was the purpose of you speaking with 911?
I gave them the address to my apartment.
All right. Did an officer from the sheriff's office come to speak with you that evening?
No, sir.
Did the police leave something at your residence?
Yes, they left a card at my door.
And when was that?
I would say, I think a couple of days after.
All right. And then after that, did you actually meet with detectives from the sheriff's office?
Yes.
And that would have been approximately December 4th?
Yes, I believe.
And did you tell the homicide detectives as best you could what you had seen and heard that evening?
Yes.
At any point that evening, did you see anything that looked like a firearm in that plaza?
No, sir.
Did you ever see anything that looked like a weapon of any kind or a firearm in the hands of the driver or the front seat passenger?
No, sir.
All right. let me show you, states 43. Is that up on your monitor?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the red Durango that you saw?
Yes.
And states 21, does that also appear to be that car?
Yes.
All right, and obviously you didn't see it in this position, but that appears to be the car.
Correct.
Okay. You know, at this time, then I'd ask to play Alyssa LeBlanc's portion of the 911 call. I believe it's been moved into evidence as states 167. I think we've got it queued up to her part. And if I could just ask a couple more questions. Did your brother Christopher LeBlanc talk to the 911 operator before you?
Yes.
And then he handed the phone to you?
Yes, sir.
And you essentially give their address?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I'd ask to play her portion.
All right, go right ahead.
Jack on that one.
Ms. Waldrop, do you know where it is?
Hang on a second, I'll let you speak with her because she knows this area better than I do. Hang on a second.
My address is 7595 in Meadows Circle West, apartment 2014.
2014.
Yes, ma'am.
And you saw the individuals from the vehicle, correct?
Yes, and I'm not 100% sure that those were the individuals that fired the shots or not, but because I didn't see guns on them, but like right after the shots, they spat and like squealed their tires and stopped in the middle of the parking lot, and two gentlemen got out of their vehicles. I couldn't tell you much other than the fact that they were both black males and slightly longer hair, and one was wearing a camo shirt, but we were just concerned with getting in the car and getting my nephew in the car.
Okay. All right, we do have something going on in the area. We'll have officers meet you out there.
I'm sorry, hold on one second. Can you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. I was just letting you know if the officers need you that can come around there. I put all that in the call.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jack,
Ms. LeBlanc, does that accurately depict your phone conversation with 911 that evening?
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Judge, that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Carlisle?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello.
Now, you testified you're a teacher, correct?
Yes.
A second grade teacher?
Yes.
And it's important in your duties as a teacher to pay attention to details, correct?
Yes.
And that carries over into your personal life?
I would say so.
Okay. Back on November 23rd of 2012, you were having dinner at the Loop, correct?
Correct.
And that's in the plaza next to where the Gate gas station is?
Yes.
And you parked your car facing Southside Boulevard?
Yes.
And that would mean the rear of your car would be facing the restaurant?
Correct.
And that would make the driver's side of your car closest to the Gate gas station?
Correct.
So leaving the restaurant and walking towards your car, you heard gunshots?
Yes.
And that was coming from the area of the gas station?
Yes.
And that would be about a football field away? Would that be fair?
I wouldn't think it would be that far, no.
Okay. And you were holding your nephew at the time?
Yes.
And he was 2 years old back then?
Yes.
And because you heard the shots coming from your left, you went to the passenger side of your car with your nephew?
Correct.
But you were driving that night?
I was driving that night.
Okay. And your nephew's car seat was actually behind your driver's seat?
Correct.
Now your brother, he also went towards the passenger side of your car, correct?
Yes.
But instead of stopping to take cover like you two did, he kind of kept going?
Yes.
And did he go towards the grass, towards Southside Boulevard, or further north in the parking lot?
I'm not sure about cardinal directions, but he was just going towards Southside Boulevard. He didn't stop at my car like I did.
Did he make it up onto the curb and into the grass a little bit?
I don't recall how far he got. I know he wasn't in the parking lot anymore. He was over by a tree, I think.
Okay. Now, as you went to the passenger side of your car, you saw a red SUV coming towards your location?
Correct.
And that was leaving from the gas station?
Yes.
And it just stopped in the middle of the travel lane in the parking lot near your car?
Yes.
And would you agree with that it parked about 10 spaces away, the width of 10 parking spaces?
Yes, that was my estimate.
Okay. And you believe you testified you saw two people get out of the SUV?
Yes.
The driver and the front passenger?
Yes.
Now, the front passenger, when he got out, you didn't see where he went, did you?
The front passenger?
Yes.
No, sir. I just saw him go towards the back of the vehicle.
And that's because of your view from the passenger side of your car to where the red SUV stopped, you couldn't really see the passenger side of the SUV at all.
Correct.
And your brother was right next to you, right? At this point?
Yes, by this time he was.
Okay. Was he on your left or right if you're facing the Gate gas station?
He was on my right.
So he would be further towards Southside Boulevard.
Correct.
But from where you were standing, you could see the driver's side of the SUV, correct?
Yes.
And when the driver got out, he left the driver's door open?
I don't recall.
Okay. And as he's walking towards the back of the SUV, you could see he was on his cell phone?
Yes.
And when you saw him leaning in the back of the SUV, the rear driver's side door was open, correct?
Yes.
So that would put the rear driver's side door in between you and the driver,
Yes.
as far as your line of sight goes.
Correct.
So it'd be fair to say that you couldn't see what the driver was doing because there was at least one door blocking your view?
No, I couldn't see what he was doing inside the car.
You could only see his lower legs,
Correct.
and he was leaning inside, I believe, was what you testified to?
Yes.
Now, at some point, you handed your brother your car keys, correct?
Yes.
And that was so he could load your nephew into his car seat?
Yes.
And you had an older model Saturn, so you didn't have the remote control to unlock the doors, is that right?
Correct.
So he had to manually put the key in the door and turn it?
Correct.
And after he loaded your nephew into his car seat, is it your recollection that he had to actually reach over and manually unlock the passenger side door?
Well, he had to use the key to unlock the driver's side door and then reach around to unlock the back door from there. And then he opened the back door and put my nephew in. But by then, my driver's side was already unlocked.
Okay. So after you gave your brother the car keys, he walked around the front or the back of your car to get to the driver's side so he could strap your nephew in?
He walked around the back.
Okay. Now, you strapped your nephew into his car seat before, correct?
I have.
And you would agree that it would be near impossible to do without watching what you're doing?
Judge, I don't object to that. Common speculation.
Sustain.
After your brother straps your nephew in, you walk to the driver's side and he walks back around to the passenger side?
Correct.
And you see the red SUV backing up towards the gas station?
Yes.
But it's dark outside, so what you really see is the headlights getting further away from you. Would that be fair?
No, I actually saw them reversing towards the gas station.
Okay, but you're driving it. You're actually backing your car out of the parking space and driving in the opposite direction, correct?
So as I was getting into my car, they were already getting back into their vehicle and reversing. So we were basically leaving the plaza at the same time. As I was in my car and backing out and driving out, they were getting into their vehicle and reversing back to the gas station.
So it'd be fair to say that as they're backing their SUV back towards the Gate gas station, you don't see what they're doing other than backing the vehicle up.
I mean, all I saw was them reverse back to the gas station. That's all I saw.
So you can't testify whether or not anything was thrown from the SUV at this time because you're backing your own vehicle up.
I didn't see anything.
Okay. And because you lived in the area, you're familiar with that plaza and the Gate gas station?
Somewhat. I've been there before.
And you're aware that there are bushes and trees lining the sides of the parking lot of the plaza?
Yes.
And there are dumpsters by the gas station?
Yes.
And there's a large ditch in between the plaza parking lot and Southside Boulevard?
I don't recall a ditch.
Okay. You just don't recall?
No.
Okay. May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Guy?
Nothing further, thank you.
May she be excused?
She may.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You're excused. State's next witness.
Christopher LeBlanc.
Christopher LeBlanc, please.